Morning peeps, I'm back with a Friday evening review. It's actually Saturday morning here. I've just done my Saturday morning park run and come back home and watched the highlights to the Wolves match. Now, I was up watching the deadline streams, and first thing I noticed was that the captaincy, which had been the majority polls on my moosh, had swung completely around, so that Mbeumo was a very heavy favourite on all the polls. He was at 40%, and Mamouche was only in the 20s. So I changed my captaincy to Mbeumo, so I always captain the top of the poll. It's the one position and the one thing I don't like taking a risk on, because the consensus is nearly always right. You know, I did a lot of study on the captaincy back when I had my website and everything, and spent years and years analysing it and going over all the data, and it was pretty much shown that you could not really beat just picking the top of the poll on a long-term basis. So I always do that. And by the way, peeps, I was rummaging around in my drawer last night, and I found this old headset of mine that I used to use to play FIFA on Xbox. It's got a microphone attached, so I thought, why not plug it in and see if it's better than my built-in microphone on my laptop, so you can be the judge of whether it is or not. So anyway, I changed the captain, and as it turned out, very pleased I did, because if Mamouche had got a couple of goals tonight, it would have been absolutely horrible, wouldn't it? Especially with it only being a Friday night, knowing that you'd changed it the last minute and got it wrong. It'd be horrible, horrible, peeps. But as it is, it feels pretty good that Mamouche is blanked and I'm not on his captaincy. I think he's on just about 100%, so either way, it's not going to make a huge difference to your rank. But what will make a huge difference, I think, is if Mbeumo goes off on one and you haven't captained him. But luckily I have. He's at 140%, I think, effective ownership. So I did that anyway, and then I found out just before the deadline that Savinho was out. Now, if you saw yesterday the program I did, I was talking about getting De Bruyne in for Savinho in that situation, but I worked out that I couldn't do it because I wouldn't have enough money in the bank to activate my assistant manager chip on anybody. You know, I'd have had about 0.3 in the bank if I'd got De Bruyne. So the assistant manager chip effectively ruled me out of getting De Bruyne, who I was very worried about not owning, quite rightly as it turned out, because he got the winning goal. But it did mean that I could get Bowen in. So I got Bowen in for Savinho for a hit, which meant I could use my assistant manager on Guardiola. I was going to play it on Moyes if Savinho had been starting or whatever. I would have had to have played it on Moyes, which I wasn't too happy about, because they're away at Fulham next week, and I'm not sure I would have wanted to roll with it for the Fulham match, although that could have been table bonus, I think, that game. But they could easily lose it, couldn't they? So that's kind of worked out. So I got 9 for Guardiola, but that is why I was so nervous watching that Wolves match, because City weren't exactly dominating them. It took them a while to get the first goal, and then it was squeaky bum time after that, because I really, you know, a Wolves goal would have decimated my assistant manager chip. As it was, I only got 9 points from it, but you know, 9 points is better than nothing. And even if I can get 9 points for the next 2 weeks, then you know, it's only 27 points when other people were getting 40, 50 earlier in the season. But you know, that's just the way it is. There's no doubles for me. And I don't want to take a risk getting 0 with table bonuses. So I'm on 19 points at the moment, but it's really 15. But that has been enough to put me from 67k to 57k. Obviously, it's early days, but I have only had 2 plays so far. A lot of people have had 3. And the captain is yet to make an appearance. So it should hopefully be green arrow time, because there's not too many things I have to worry about, I think. I mean, obviously benching Sarr always goes wrong for me, absolutely always. He only ever gets points when I don't start him. So, you know, I'm a bit worried about Sarr because a lot of people have him in their starting lineup. Maybe I should have benched Rodgers over Sarr. I thought, because I've already got Mateta. You know, I suppose that's all I have got really, isn't it now? Mateta in this match for Palace. But so a lot of people got 2 or 3 Palace. So, you know, if Palace did do some damage to Forest, I could be in a wee bit of trouble. But other than that, it looks pretty safe. So we'll have a quick look at the Content Creator League. Actually, we'll have a look at this because I've been looking at Understat today. Well, I'm not a huge stats fan, but they've got a nice clear looking thing here, and it pretty much shows that expected goals under 1 for Man City. They had 9 shots, but only 2 were on target, which is pretty poor, isn't it? But Wolves are obviously a very decent side, I think. I had actually looked at using the assistant manager chip on Wolves in 36, 37, 38. But I'm quite pleased I played it now that Guardiola came through. You know, so they would have got a point or 2 more, I guess, if they had scored more goals. But the fact that they got the win, that's the main thing, isn't it? Now, bonus points. De Bruyne 3, Guardiola 2, and Ruben Diaz 1. So those with double City defence have had a pretty good start to the game week as well, haven't they? Pretty good start to the game week. What's the next game? Villa and Fulham. Up. Look at the time. Look at the times they are in New Zealand time. Look, 2 a.m. 4:30. I'll be up for the Arsenal match at 4:30. Although I have nobody in it, but I won't be up for these matches here. Everton, Ipswich, and Leicester, Southampton. So I won't be looking at those. Thankfully, Chelsea, Liverpool's at 3:30 on Monday morning my time, so I'll be up to watch that. Really need Chelsea to do something in that game. So, right, let's have a quick look at this Content Creator League and see what's been happening. Late riser. Top, 31 points. What's he done? Still got 2 transfers. He didn't make any transfers, but he let's have a quick look at captaincy first. So he's captain De Bruyne. I captain Mbeumo. Mark captain Bowen. Fabio captain Mamouche, so he's had a captain failure already. All these people here captain Mbeumo. And Wag captain Bowen. So we've got a couple of Bowens, only 1 Mamouche, and 7 Mbeumos, and a De Bruyne. So late risers captain De Bruyne. He doesn't even own Mbeumo, and he's playing perfectly. He's playing perfectly for somebody that's chasing. He's gone up about 100k already this week by the look of it. So he's 236,000 overall rank. He's chasing. So he's done. This is how you chase. You don't pick the most popular picks like Mbeumo. It's pointless if you're trying to catch up. So he's gone De Bruyne instead, captained him, and it's paid off so far. Obviously, we don't know what Mbeumo's going to do we? But we shall see. We shall see. But he's had a good start to the game week. He's got Ruben Diaz instead of Guardiola. So he's doing well so far this week. Then there's myself on 19, really 15 because I've taken a hit. Savinho to Bowen, Saka to Mbeumo, and assistant manager Guardiola. I'm the only one playing a chip this week. Some people have got their triple captain left. Let's have a look at this. Fabio's still got his assistant manager, and he hasn't played it yet, so he must be using it in the last 3 weeks. But look at all these triple captains. Late Riser's got one. Probably wishes he played it today. I mean, 11 would have been... I don't think you're going to get much better, to be honest. Mark's still got his triple captain. Harry's got his bench boost. And that is it. So, You know, there's still a few chips. The triple captain's awful. I looked yesterday, didn't I? And it's very difficult to know when to. Even picking a normal captain's tough enough. So Mark's got 13. We'll call it 13 because he's got a -4. He did Cunha to Visser. Psychic. Knew Cunha was going to blank. And he's done Luis Diaz to Mbeumo. And he has double City defence. So he's had a very good start to the game week. Captain Bowen. So his week depends really on the Bowen versus Mbeumo situation. And it does give me some encouragement with my Bowen transfer, the fact that Mark has captained him. So Fabio's the only one who's had a captain fail so far. Guardiola, Mamouche, fairly standard looking team. Look, a lot of people have got Munoz, Sarr and Eze. Triple Palace. So I really need Forest to pull themselves together. You know, pull yourselves together, pick yourselves up and sort yourselves out, Forest. Sort yourselves out because you're looking awful, awful. I really wanted to table bonus them, but I already had 3 Palace and it wasn't easy to get rid of the Palace players because they're cheap and they didn't really give me funds to get the players I wanted. So I'm kind of stuck with 3 Palace players. Harry's on 10. I watched his deadline stream, quite a bit of it. He did Foden to Mbeumo and is on 10 points. Car 10 points, same old, same old. All these ones on 10 points have basically got Mamouche and Guardiola, pretty much. Az took a hit. He did Mateta to Wood and Eze to Mbeumo. And the Wood's gone very quiet, hasn't he? He's back to the old last season's Wood and the season before that. As our Forest, it appears. But you never know. Hopefully Wood does score because I benched Henderson, even though a lot of people are playing Munoz, and I played the Aston Villa keeper instead. So Wag's on 0 because she doesn't do Man City. So God knows what her team's like. Got Williams in there. Kirill. Palmer. Palmer's still there, look. Evan Nielsen. Isaac and Captain Bowen. So this team's very different. Very different. And City, you have to say, apart from Mamouche, City assets have done pretty well this week, haven't they? So she's got a bit of a, starting with a bit of a disadvantage there, I think. But all 11 players still to go. So anyway, peeps, that's about it. You know, basically, I just came on to test my microphone out, really, and have a look at what's what. How come my game week rank is 5 million? That seems a lot, doesn't it? That seems like quite high. Especially when you consider I've got a nice green arrow, yet my game week rank is 5 million. I mean, what's everyone got? Do you know what I mean? How come we've all got more points? Don't know, peeps. Did all the casuals leave their assistant manager till the last few weeks? I don't know what it is. Seems high to me. Maybe it hasn't counted the assistant manager yet. Don't know. Plan. I hate this week coming up. Hate it. I mean, look at my defence this week. Horrible. I got Wan-Bissaka away at Man United, Livramento home to Chelsea. I've got Saliba away at Liverpool and Kirill away at Liverpool. Captain Mbeumo again, I think. You know, it'd be interesting to see what happens if he blanks, whether people go with him again next week. I don't think you can go Mamouche. Haaland's looking like he's ready. He got a bit of a knock, Mamouche, didn't he? He played on, but he did get a bit of a knock. But I think Mbeumo will be pretty popular next week. A lot of people might have De Bruyne. People who haven't already bought De Bruyne, are they going to go there? You know, it's they've got that Bournemouth match 3 days after the FA Cup where there's going to be heavy rotation, and we don't know if De Bruyne will start the FA Cup or not. If he does, you'd assume he won't play Bournemouth. So I think only gambling type players are going to pick De Bruyne. You know, possibly there might be a few people go Salah to De Bruyne. Might there? That's an option. Of course, I can't do any of those things because I'm stuck on Guardiola. Unless I took out Marmoush, which seems a bit silly before Southampton, but you never know what state Haaland's going to be in. You wouldn't think he'd be ready, but if Pep wants Haaland in the FA Cup final, then he's going to have to chuck him out there against Southampton, isn't he? You'd think so. You'd think so, at least. At least for a significant portion of the match. So I will have a free. This is why I wanted to. Didn't mind taking a hit this week because it kind of. I would have had to anyway with Savinio. I would have had to anyway. And I really want this week to make a defensive transfer. I don't want Kyrgios and Saliba away at Liverpool. So I don't know who's got good fixtures. I haven't even really looked yet. Cunha's interesting, isn't he? Next week, home to Brighton. Went for the way at Ipswich. I mean, in terms of clean sheets, maybe a Forest defender. Maybe a Forest defender. Just to get me over this week. That would appear to make some sense, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, maybe a Forest defender. FPL Review wanted me to put my assistant manager on Crystal Palace. I mean, they're home to Forest this week. Forest looking ropey. And then they're away to Tottenham next week, who have a Europa game beforehand. So, you know, it was an option. If you got 2 wins out of it, you'd get like 40 odd points, wouldn't you? But again, if you got 2 losses, you'd be nowhere. Was kind of, I thought Pep was like, I was more worried about the Wolves match. I'm not so worried about the Southampton match. I'd be shocked if I didn't get at least 8 or 9 points out of that match. But yeah, I think that's on the cards next week, a defensive transfer. Anyway, peeps, I'm off now. I will be back anyway quite soon, no doubt. So I'll talk to you all later anyway. So like and subscribe, and hopefully you like the new microphone. And cheers for now then, peeps, and good luck with all your Leicester and Southampton assets for tomorrow's matches. Anyway, cheers for now then, peeps.